Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. If this is your first time here, my name is Risa and I was a professional makeup artist for more than 20 years before becoming a full-time content creator here on YouTube. I started a series about a year ago called I Watch TikTok So You Don't Have To. I started the series because many of you were commenting that you do not have TikTok. You are not on TikTok, you maybe even aren't on Instagram, you don't want another app to download, you don't want something else taking up your time like these apps tend to do. So what I do in that case is I watch it for you, and then I will make a video of anything I think that is really worth sharing. Once in a while, I'll do one tip or one hack that I saw, but this time I have a few that I wanted to share. And almost all of these are things that even at age 51, I did not know. The first video I'm going to show you is from a fellow over 50 beauty content creator. Not only is she also over 50 like me, she also worked as a makeup artist for many, many years. Her name is Kat James, and I believe she's also an esthetician. She has really blown up over on TikTok. I think she is going to be the very first over 50 beauty content creator to hit 1 million followers. Her channel is pretty small here on YouTube. I will link it for you. She posts once in a while. Her main platform is TikTok, whereas mine is YouTube. So let's take a listen to her advice that I think applies to a lot of us in the 40, 50 plus age range.
I am told over and over that I am one of those girls that you just look at and you know that I smell good. However, full disclosure, because that's what we're doing here, I can get a little stinky in the pits. I have tried everything. I have done the clinical deodorants, the medicated deodorants, the $30 bougie deodorants. I have it down to a science at this point. I use two things that completely eliminate odor. So number one, it's not your sweat that stinks. It's the sweat interacting with bacteria. So you need to eliminate the bacteria. When I shower, I use this medicated wash to completely wash my underarms. It is going to kill bacteria, the bacteria that causes the odor. Next, I take chlorophyll drops daily. These are a natural deodorizer. You are cleaning from the inside out. Not only is it great for underarms, it's great for breath, it's great for any type of bodily odor.
Well, that was an immediate order of this Panoxyl Acne Creamy Wash. It is so interesting that I stumbled upon that video a couple of weeks ago because I had just been starting to notice, and this is embarrassing to say, but we're all friends here, that I was smelling a little bit. I could sometimes smell myself, and it didn't smell great. And I had heard that once you get into perimenopause and menopause, that body odor can be a thing. So of course I looked into some of those all over body deodorants, and I was this close to buying one when I came across Kat's video. It was honestly so great to hear someone else talk about a topic that can be so taboo. Women's health in general seems to have, especially menopause, seems to have a lot of stigma around it. Like it's not something that we're supposed to be talking about. I am so glad that more women are feeling free to share what's going on with their bodies. So I thought it was really great that she shared this and why I wanted to then share it with you. This has honestly helped so much. I do exactly as Kat says. I wash my underarms. Well, I use my regular body wash on the rest of my body, and then I use this Panoxyl antibacterial cleanser under my armpits and then also underneath the girls, because I tend to get very sweaty underneath there. I'm sure a lot of large chested women can relate. It's an area that can get quite sweaty, and not even just in the summertime. Am I right? So if you too have been feeling not as fresh smelling as you would like to, I highly recommend doing what I did and taking Kat's advice and starting to wash certain areas of your body with an antibacterial cleanser. Now let's move on to hair. As you can see, I have a very beachy hairstyle going on today. And in the past, I have posted tutorials on how I get my beachy waves. And a lot of other people have tutorials as well. And they all pretty much show the same thing. Taking your curling iron, maybe it's a 1 inch, maybe it's a 1 1/4 inch, curling the hair away from the face, because that is traditionally what we've all been told to do to get those beachy waves or soft waves, while in reality, true beach waves don't usually go just in one pattern. The waves don't all go in one direction. So I've spoken about this influencer before, Cara Jewel. She's like a golden goddess and her hair is amazing. I don't even think she has any extensions in her hair. And she has taught me a lot, honestly. Now, a lot of her videos on TikTok are just her, posing in bikinis because, well, if I looked like that, I would be posing in bikinis all the time too. But anyway, when she posts beauty videos, there's always something in there that I didn't know or that I want to try. So when she posted her hair tutorial, I definitely paid attention. And what she does is, instead of curling all of the hair in the same direction away from the face, she alternates the curls. So as you can see here, I've clipped up the top of my hair, and now I'm taking a section with a 1 1/4 inch curling iron, and I am taking that first section and curling it away from my face. But after that piece, I go to the next piece and I curl that one towards my face. And then I just keep repeating that pattern. And once I've done the bottom layer of my hair, I take down the top layer with the exception of my bangs, and I do the same thing. The first piece away from my face, the second piece toward my face, and then I just keep going. And then I drop down my curtain bangs, and I do the same thing. The front pieces, I always like to have those going away from my face. Now, that footage was all my real hair, but I did go in afterwards and put in a clip-in piece. This is actually a piece that I got on Amazon. I think it cost under $20. It's not real hair, so you can't curl it, but it is pre-curled, and it has that same sort of beachy alternating curl pattern. So it blends in perfectly and seamlessly with my beachy waves. So if you have always wondered how to get this look and the curls going in one direction, all in one direction, just wasn't cutting it, that is what you were doing wrong. You've got to alternate those curls. I've also spoken about this stunning model before. She's another one that most of the time posts, bikini content and just does little skits and stuff on her TikTok. So I don't personally tend to watch those, but when she talks about makeup, I listen. I mean, these are models, guys. They're always getting their makeup done by different makeup artists. They are always doing their own makeup as well. So they have a lot to teach us. Just like I, as a makeup artist for more than 20 years, have a lot to teach. Models can teach us a lot as well. She is the queen of tan, and she tans at home. She says that sometimes she does get a spray tan, but most of the time she just tans at home, and she does have her full tanning routine on her TikTok. But what stood out to me in her routine is not only does she do the exfoliating, which I think we all know you need to exfoliate your skin before you self-tan, but then she said that one of the key elements, one of the important steps in getting your tan to be as dark as you want it and last as long as you want it is to wait like a half an hour to an hour after you shower to apply the self-tan. In hindsight, it makes perfect sense because think about your skincare. If you're using some sort of retinol, like a Retin-A, the recommendation is that you wait a few minutes after washing your face before applying that product so that it can penetrate better. It's about your pores opening up from the warmth of the water or the warmth of your shower, and you want them to sort of close back up before you apply those products. Because that way, and this is just what I've been told, I could be wrong, but this is my understanding. I am not an esthetician, I am not a skincare expert. But from what I understand, that allows the product, specifically in this case, the self-tanner, to absorb evenly and penetrate the skin deeper. If you don't have time to wait, what you're going to want to do is turn your water to cold so that your pores close up. It says right here on Google, closed pores are essential when applying self-tanner. I did not know that. Something else I did not know is that dry shampoo should go on at night. This is Teresa Van Dam. She has a very, very large following on TikTok. She does a lot of skits, like salon skits, about people that come into her salon, and she has some positive stories, she has some negative stories, she has some truly unbelievable stories, although being someone that worked in customer service for a long time, they are believable, unfortunately. And the first time she said that, and I think it was in one of her skits, that you should apply your dry shampoo at night, I said to myself, what? Really? And the explanation she gave made so much sense. What that dry shampoo is going to do when you apply it on your roots at night is it's going to absorb any oils that come out while you're sleeping. And I don't know why, but I was really surprised when it worked, or pleasantly surprised. I wasn't thinking that it wasn't going to work. I guess I was just impressed with how well it worked, because I have not been a big pusher of dry shampoos over the years. I have some that I like, but I can't say that any have wowed me to the point that I'm talking about them, constantly on my channel. Since I've been doing her method of applying the dry shampoo at night, I have noticed that my hair is actually just a lot cleaner feeling in the morning. It has more volume. I'm just so happy that I heard that piece of advice.
Okay, so even with these good dry shampoos, can you still use them incorrectly? Yeah, you can. So how should you use it? So the best way to use dry shampoo is to actually use it before your hair gets oily. Wait, really? Yep, because if you use it in small amounts, just lightly throughout your hair before it gets oily, you don't need as much, so you don't really end up with that, gross feeling. Oh. Yep, the best way to use it is before your hair gets oily, to use it very lightly at your roots, spraying from about 1/2 of an arm's length away. You don't want to spray too close to the scalp, and then leave it for about 10 minutes before you rub it in. Oh. Yeah, I usually just spray it right up at my roots and then rub it in, and it just feels gross. And yeah, when you use it after your hair's already oily, you're a lot more likely to use too much of it, and then you're going to feel a lot more of it in your hair.
The final piece of advice that I learned from TikTok is from a creator named Scarlett Fraser. And in one of her videos, she said to put a little dab of Vaseline underneath where you would apply your perfume to make it last longer. And I think some of you, maybe a lot of you, might know this one already, because I do feel like I've heard it before, but when she said it, again, the timing couldn't have been better, because I had just bought, when I was in Barcelona, this Byredo starter set, or just these travel size vials of some of their most popular scents. My best friend who was traveling with me bought the exact same set. We were so excited to have them because they smelled so good at the counter. So that night, when I got ready for dinner, I sprayed one of them. I can't remember which one. I think maybe Mojave Ghost. And I sprayed quite a bit. But then when we were leaving the room, our cabin on our cruise, I asked my husband, can you smell my perfume? And he got really close to me and he said, no, not really. Obviously, I don't want someone to be able to smell me from across the room, but I want someone who's standing, this close to me like my husband would be, or when I go to give someone a hug, that they would be able to smell it and think, ooh, she smells good. So I saw this tip about the Vaseline, and I happened to have a little container of it with me. So the next night I used her tip, her suggestion, and I put the Vaseline on my pulse points, the areas that I apply my fragrance. And no, I never do this. I think we all know not to do this by now, but the Vaseline works. It really, really works. So if you have fragrances at home, some that could be very expensive like the Byredo, and you're bummed because they don't last on you, try the Vaseline tip. And then come back and comment on this video and let me know if it worked for you. Actually, let me know if any of these tips and pieces of advice are new to you, if you're going to try them, if you have tried them, do they work for you as well? I just love sharing information like this with my viewers. I will never understand people that gatekeep products, tips, tricks. That will never be me. I always want to share things that I believe can help people. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you'll consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post new content at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. My username is the same on every platform. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to all the content creators I mentioned in this video for sharing their pieces of advice with me that I can then share with you. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.